Bien, hey, welcome everyone. I was going to say hello in Spanish. It's so funny. So no, hello everyone. This is Gloria Ramirez for those of you who are meeting me for the first time. And those of you who already know me, welcome. Welcome to this class that I am going to facilitate today. And it is, I'm calling it 6 tips to simplify making decisions. And I think this is a topic that people really are interested because making decisions is something that we have to deal with every single day, whether it is simple decisions or maybe a little more complicated, if I can say. It's always a decision-making process. It's important to really have some tips that can help us to make this process a lot easier. And the thing is that a lot of times what happens is that when we require to make a decision about something maybe big, then it can be difficult to make the right decision, and especially sometimes, obviously, we might be in fear about making the wrong decision. So today we are going to talk about really how we can position ourselves to really not be in fear and to just trust the process. As a matter of fact, right now, I am remembering what Paramahansa Yogananda talks about, not living in fear or in guilt, and is to always do our best and then leave the rest to God. And that is the main thing, to come from the heart, to know that we have good intentions about the decisions we're making, and then to trust that is going to be the right decision. But again, today, I'd like to share a couple of tips that I am trusting that are going to be helpful for you. I wanted to share about an experience that I had, I'm going to say about 2 months ago. And it was a very important decision, and I really didn't know how to proceed. And it was kind of in the back of my mind. And then it was so amazing that suddenly I thought, oh my goodness, Gloria, all you have to do is pray. And then really let God guide you. And I did pray with a lot of devotion, with a lot of faith, and I basically opened my heart to God, and I said to God that I needed His help in the sense of helping me to do the right thing. And I immediately felt at peace when after I prayed, because I knew that God was going to send me an answer. It has done it for the longest time, since I remember really trusting in that power that is really the power of God in us. And then, sure enough, about 2 days later, maybe a couple of days later, I received a clear answer and guidance as to how to proceed with this decision. And I was like so happy that I, first of all, decided to pray to God. And number two, that I trusted, that I opened my heart to God, and that then I was receiving the answer. And what also happened is not I only gained clarity with the answer, but I also obviously took action. And then as I took action, it really created a series of events that at the end was all a perfect outcome. So I thought to myself right at that moment, oh my goodness, I really cannot ever forget that I have to go to God every time I am making a decision about anything. It could be maybe more important. I think all decisions are important, but maybe bigger situations or smaller, it doesn't matter, because God is able to arrange everything in a perfect way for us. The secret here, dear friends, is that we do have to trust. We have to have faith. And yes, please do not despair if you feel, oh, I don't really have that faith, or I don't have that level of devotion. No, it's okay. We can continue to develop it. And the more we practice every single day, then we are able to develop that faith. And then the next thing we know is we become stronger and stronger. So right now, I'd like to invite us to check a couple of possibilities, and knowing that the process of making decisions can be simple and easy when we are willing to allow divine wisdom to give us clarity and guidance. Dear friends, this is a very important, how can I say, message here, that when we are willing to allow divine wisdom to give us clarity and guidance. As a matter of fact, I recently was talking to someone that realized that this person was having some challenges in her life only because she felt she herself realized that was a lot in control, wanting to be in control. And that's the challenge. When we want to be in control about every detail, then it's going to be really, really difficult to allow God to guide us and to give us the clarity and the guidance that we need. So here the key is for us to let go of the control. Obviously, we're going to take action, and we are going to talk about that in a moment. But we have to first go to that higher power, whatever you call it, God, or you can call it universe, or whatever name or you can call obviously Jesus or Virgin Mary. But the first thing is to really allow that higher power to help you, giving you clarity and guidance. And when you are willing to do that, oh my goodness, it's just miracle after miracle that happens, because we are open and receptive. And really do your best to let go of the temptation to control everything. This world is imperfect, as Swami Kriyananda says. Swami Kriyananda is the founder of Ananda. And he says that this world is imperfect, but the world of God is perfect, meaning that God and our essence that God created us with is perfect. So therefore, that's why we have to go to that world to allow the wisdom of God to guide us, instead of trying to control every single detail. And let me ask you this. Have you noticed that when you keep controlling or really trying to control this person, this outcome, this situation, then a lot of times it gets worse and worse, and then more obstacles show up? Probably you are saying yes. Well, it is because all that control comes, in most of the time, many cases, from fear, from self-doubt, sometimes it comes from that feeling of insecurity, being afraid of making decisions. And sometimes some of us grew up in homes where we were not allowed to make mistakes because it was like, oh my goodness, the worst that could happen if we made a mistake, because we were punished and all of that. So somehow that's the reason why we have to go to the source of all wisdom, which is that higher power. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how we can we can simplify the process. Let's explore how to make better decisions and how to cultivate the habits that will help simplify the process. And I consciously put this image here of solutions because one thing that is extremely important when it comes to decisions, dear friends, is to not focus on the problem. A lot of times we keep talking about the problem and the story of what the awful things that happened to us and how that person was not fair or whatever. And that is energy that we are recreating to make the challenge even worse. So that's the reason why one of the keys to make better decisions is to focus on the solutions. Remember, dear friends, that every challenge that shows up in our lives always has a solution, all the time. There's no doubt about it. So we have to then sit down and think about the solutions. If not this, then that. And then think about the solutions with the mind of God, meaning being open to receiving that guidance through our intuition. So remember this word, solutions, not focusing on the problem. The other day, I was talking to another person who was really focusing big time on a problem and the story of what happened to her. And unfortunately, I asked permission to kind of give her a couple of ideas. Unfortunately, she said yes. And I invited her to just be willing to surrender the experience to God, to let it go, and then start creating a new creating a new outcome, a new possibility. And fortunately, she was open and receptive. So it's not so, when you keep telling the story all over and over again, that this person did this to me, or that my mother or my father or my family, or you complain about anything, dear friends, remember right there, we are playing victim. And playing victim is not going to ever be the solution. So I invite you to really avoid completely to play victim, to blame anyone, to feel that this life is unfair. No, it's not. Everything is based on the law of cause and effect. It's called the law of karma. Whatever action we take, it's gonna come back to us sooner or later. So that's the reason why we have to do our best to live our lives in a dharmic way. That's how we call it here in Ananda, which means in a way that is correct, that is positive. And then to always go for the solution. How can I approach this situation? What are some of the solutions? And then the ideas are going to flow if you are open. But if you keep talking about the problem, then only more of the story is going to come to you. So this is why I have this word here, solutions, okay? So then the first tip that I like to offer to simplify making decisions is to seek divine guidance. And unfortunately, a lot of times people are not used to that. I wasn't used to seeking divine guidance many years ago. Definitely wasn't used to it. I didn't even have a clue what it meant. Seek divine guidance means to talk to your higher self, to your higher power, to the divine presence, to God, whatever name you have for it, and a prayer from your heart in your own words. It's a wonderful way to open your heart and to open your mind. And this is how you are going to be able to receive answers, to gain clarity, and to be guided to the proper action. So saying a prayer is extremely important. I shared the story about that situation that I had that I didn't know how to proceed. And I remember that when I thought about praying, I was on my knees in front of the altar and I said, God, I don't know what to do about this, but you do know. I'd like to ask you to please guide me. And sure enough, again, a couple of days later, came the answer. So we have to somehow have that ability to open our hearts, to be humble. Not knowing what to do is not anything faulty in you. It's just the opposite. You are being brave enough to say, I don't know what to do here, God. Please help me. And God is going to rush to help you, because God doesn't want you to suffer. God doesn't want you to make mistakes, not because he's going to punish you or be upset at you, only because he doesn't want you to suffer. So be willing to seek divine guidance. And it can be done in so many ways, through a prayer. You can also talk to God during the day, ask God questions, and maybe you can sit down with priest or someone who is going to be able to guide you and to really seek that divine guidance. Now, do not feel bad if you feel, oh my goodness, I don't have a strong relationship with my higher power or with God. It's okay. That can be developed day by day, little by little, even if it's baby steps. So do not put yourself down if you feel that you don't have that strong relationship with God, or you don't trust, you feel that your faith is not strong. Don't worry. Little by little, your faith will increase as you practice. Do you think that the faith of saints showed up one day and they were just all faithful to God and all of that? No, you know quite well that they developed their faith. So be willing to say, okay, in your own words, I open my heart, God. I need help here. I need guidance. And I promise you that God will answer, but it has to come from a place not of begging for an answer. And that is another thing that is important to remember, to pray with an expectation, a positive expectation that God is going to answer. Not that I am this poor child of yours and I am desperate and give me a little bit of your attention. No, God, I am your child. You created me, your image and likeness, and I need an answer. I need a sign. I need something that is going to show me how to proceed. And talking about this, I want to say this just in case I forget, because it's so important, is that when I ask for guidance and I receive the guidance, I think that that's the guidance that I'm receiving. I say to God, okay, God, I am going to go ahead and do this, but if you have a different plan, you have to let me know. And that way, if God has a different plan, I promise you that he's going to let you know through a friend or someone who is going to say something to you. And I'll talk more about that in a moment when we go to another one of these tips. The second tip is about remaining calm. This is extremely important, dear friends, because what happens is that when we remain calm, we are able to allow for the answers to come. Otherwise, if the mind is busy and full of agitation and anxiety, how do you think we are going to be able to receive the answer? So it's very important to remain calm. And for this, meditation can definitely help big time, and also prayer. And then going to taking walks in somewhere around your house, or if you can go to a park or something like that, that can help you tremendously. But do your best to remain calm, not only in your mind, meaning that you're just present here, and then, but also in your heart, meaning being willing to control your emotions. to be calm, to just say, this emotion, I am honoring it right now. Maybe I need to cry for a little bit, and then I'll give that to God. So you don't have to suppress the emotion, but you don't stay with it because it will take you into a roller coaster. So do your best to remain calm. And I think the best remedy for you to remain calm, for us, for anyone, is meditation. That is, you know this already. So even if you don't meditate every day, commit to meditating at least 3 days a week. And that, even if it is for only 15 minutes, and that will definitely help you to stay calm. Anyone who meditates consistently will tell you this, that meditation brings you to state of calmness. That calmness that you get from your meditation, you take it to your activities during the day, and that is such a wonderful gift that you give to yourself. So remember to remain calm. The next one, consult someone who can help you. And so seeking the help of a professional can be very helpful because they can point out something that perhaps you may not have considered, and they can guide you in the right direction. A lot of times we don't want to consult someone, maybe because you don't want to pay someone. And that could be really not the best decision, because paying a professional is the right thing to do. First of all, they deserve to be paid. And number two, they can help you with great ideas, with guidance about anything, accounting or anything related to legal issues, whatever it is. And so you pay someone, and you obviously can ask for someone who is recommended to you, but invest in consulting someone. A lot of times, dear friends, that we tend to go to family or friends, but if it is an issue that is very delicate, that requires more deeper understanding, be careful about just going to a friend or a family member. Well, if the family member is a professional in that area, obviously that's perfect. But otherwise, be careful, because sometimes what happens is that they can even take us in the wrong direction, saying, oh, be careful, and you have to be aware of people taking advantage of you. The world is awful. A lot of times people, family members or friends, take you in the totally wrong direction. So be careful about that, and be willing to pay a professional, so that way you can at least be educated about what are some of the options that you have. And then based on that, once you have the knowledge, the education, you know what are the different choices, then you can say, okay, I'm going to make this choice. So it's your choices. That's why the word choice here, to really know that first you have to probably learn a little more about the topic or whatever it is that is going on, and then say, okay, I have informed myself with reading with a professional, and now obviously I'm going to take this to God, and then God is going to guide me as to what is the best thing to do. And most likely you're going to be feeling your heart, this is the right decision, and then you go ahead and move forward with action, which is another point that we are going to talk about. The other thing is be patient. A lot of times we want for the answers to come like tomorrow or today. And for that can create anxiety, that can create a sense of maybe I'm not doing it the right thing, which is doubt. It can create a lot of challenges. So it's important to be strong with your faith, knowing that the answers will come in God's time. I'm not saying to wait forever, because obviously sometimes we might wait for too long, meaning that we are afraid of taking action and kind of stay passive. And that we have to be careful about not doing that, because because somehow we have to definitely decide. But what I'm talking about is maybe when we want the answer today, tomorrow, it might take a few days. It might take maybe a couple of weeks. So be patient. For example, let's say that you apply for a job, and then nothing has happened. They haven't called you back. Well, in the meantime, you can do a lot to have the right energy and send the right energy. For example, use affirmations. For example, use the power of prayer and say, okay, God, I really would love to have that job. And I'm trusting that if it is the right job for me, that you feel that is the right job for me, then it's going to be mine. And then you can visualize yourself already enjoying that the outcome of being in that job. So you can, instead of allowing energy that is negative, of fear, of doubt, instead of doing that, you cooperate with the outcome by really thinking positively, by staying centering God, and by being having, as the words here say, having faith, hope, and being centered in love. So this is very, very big, this one, being patient. And then the next one, take action. And this one is very, very important, because sometimes people, as I said, when I said about being patient, you also have to be careful not to wait forever, because then you don't take action, waiting for something to come down from the heavens. Once you receive your answer, be willing to take action. And you might ask, how do I know if it is the right answer? One way to know is making sure that you are acting from your heart center. So the first thing is, acting from your heart center means that you are not going to hurt anyone in the process, that no one is going to be affected negatively. You are going to really come from a place of how can I say, that it will benefit everyone, including obviously you. And so that's your heart center, something that is noble, something that is positive, something that is good. Now, and you say, okay, I'm ready to take action, but you still have a little bit of doubt about really making sure that this is the right answer. And I'm going to share what I always do, and I'm not exaggerating, but it works 100% of the time. In order to take action, I say, okay, God, I am going to do this, take action this way. But if you have a different plan, you really need to let me know, because otherwise I'm going to go with this plan. I want to do only your will, but for now, this is what I understand. And always 100% of the time it works for me. And I'm going to give you a very specific example that happened to me 8 years ago, when I was living in Florida, and I came to Ananda just to do a program for 3 months. And when I finished the program after 3 months, I went back, and I was clear that one thing I wanted to do was to simplify my life. So in order to do that, I wanted to sell the house. And again, taking action. I was clear about that, and I said, God, I am going to sell the house. I'm going to go ahead and prepare everything and the house for sale. And I did, and there was no any other message that I received, maybe through friends or something like that. And so I prepared the house, and then the house was sold in a week. Okay, so obviously that was meant to happen. Then after I sold the house, I said to God, I'm going to go ahead and find myself a little apartment, maybe even a studio, because I really want to simplify my life. And I'm gonna start looking for such a place. And I did start to look for such a place online. And then a couple of days later, I said, if you have another plan, you definitely have to let me know very clearly. Well, about a couple of days later, I was at home with my roommate who was living there while I was at Ananda, and he stayed for a little longer and because he was doing a job in Miami. So he was cooking his dinner and I was cooking my dinner, and he said to me, Gloria, I'd like to ask you a few questions about Ananda, about your experience. I'm so curious. And I said, of course. So he kept asking me all kinds of questions, and all my answers were really positive. And at the end, maybe without exaggerating, maybe more than 2 hours, he said, Gloria, is there anything that you don't like about Ananda? And I said, I love everything about Ananda. And he said to me, oh, Gloria, take it as if it's coming from God. Your next place is Ananda. Oh my goodness, at that moment, I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. And the next day I called Ananda. For those of you who don't know what Ananda is a intentional community where we the place is here in one of the centers. The mother center is here in Nevada City or close to Nevada City in the Sierra Nevada in California. And it's a community that focuses on seeking God and meditation, prayer, and serving others. It's an amazing place, amazing community. So I was like, oh my goodness. So the next day I called Ananda and I asked if I could do all the like fill out the requirements one by one for me to be able to apply to live here. And they said yes. And then I started the whole process, which takes about 2 years. Once you get here to Ananda, you have to go through a series of courses and programs and all of that. And I completely was in such gratitude to God, because this was a very big decision. But with that guidance from God, he used my roommate to give me a different, to tell me that staying in Florida was not what God wanted. He wanted me to come here. And sure enough, I came here. And my goodness, it was amazing how I understood why I needed to be here. First of all, there is a Spanish ministry that I had been helping, especially with a lot of marketing, and it's been growing a lot, very beautifully. And so I was meant to be here. So again, I tell this whole story only with the intention of inviting you to remember that you go to God and God is going to guide you, but you gotta have the faith. And so you ask, God, I'm going to go ahead and take action doing this. But if you have a different plan, you must let me know. I promise that you will feel totally liberated by doing that. Why? Because you are not going to feel so worried about what to do. You're going to say, I'm going to go ahead and take action. And if God wants me to do something different, God is going to let me know. And you gotta believe in that process. So this is very, very important to believe in that process of God listening to you and guiding you. Okay. And so, and the last tip to be able to make decisions that are that are really wise, if I can say, is use the power of meditation to sharpen your intuition. So true intuition provides clear insight at the times when we need it the most. What does it mean, true intuition? I said true intuition because a lot of times what happens is that we think that we are receiving a message that we think that is the answer to something that we want to do, and it maybe is not the answer at all. We think it is the answer, but it's not the answer. So that's the reason why it's important to really be willing to say, okay, is this decision going to benefit everyone, benefit me, or anything? Obviously, I also know that there are sometimes decisions that are a little, how can I say, more difficult. For example, when you are the manager of a company and you have to let go of an employee, well, that's something that you must do, because if the employee is not performing at the level that he needs to, after you have given the employee the opportunity, then it is okay, because otherwise the company is going to suffer. The main thing is how you do the process that takes place until you get to that final decision of, for example, letting go of an employee. So true intuition is that intuition that comes from deep inside, that comes from that space of clarity, not fear, that comes from a space of calmness, not agitation, that comes from a space of love, not taking sides and saying, oh, because, or feeling maybe, how can I say, obligated to do this or that. True intuition is that intuition that comes from very, very deep. And the only way for us to be able to sharpen that tool of true intuition is by using the power of meditation. Why? Because as you quiet your mind and your heart in meditation, you are able to really let go of, not that you let go of all the thoughts in your mind, not because that doesn't really happen, is that at least you are calm during that period of meditation, and you let, or you allow yourself to maybe feel or to experience the still small voice within you, who is the voice of God. And I have had experiences where I also prayed at the beginning of my meditation about an answer regarding something, and at the end of the meditation, I received the answer. As a matter of fact, one time I prayed about something related to compensation, and I was given even the amount. It was absolutely amazing. So it's just that you are relaxed, you are calm, you are not in fear, you are not needy, you are not feeling like a victim. You're just centering God. That is the space where you have to be at to be able to receive that intuition. And not only you, when you practice meditation, you are able to obviously gain a lot of how can I say, like, benefits from the meditation, including concentration, intuition, clarity, obviously inner peace, all of those things. But definitely one of them is intuition. And so you just trust in that process, and pray to God and talk to God, and have your own relationship with God. But when you are in meditation, you stay silent and calm and center, and then just nothing has to happen. Just be willing to be there, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just being with the Lord. And that is already an amazing way to open the door of your heart and the door of your mind to receive true intuition. So these are the 6 ways that you can use to simplify making decisions. First, seek divine guidance. Number 2, remain calm. Number 3, consult someone who can help you. Number 4, be patient. Number 5, take action. And number 6, use the power of meditation to sharpen your intuition. And I invite you to remember that you do not have to travel this journey alone. You have the biggest power, the biggest companion of all is your higher power, God, universe, whatever way you call it. And this higher power wants to guide and support you. He wants to really, it wants to support you not only with big decisions, but in every area of your life. And really know that this is the truth, that is all areas. I have had experiences where I, for example, in Florida, came out of the house and then I picked up a few leaves and then kind of moved to another area of the house and threw the leaves there. And then I went for a walk for maybe an hour. And when I came back, I didn't have the key with me. And there was no one in the house except me. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I started to go back to retrace my steps. And then I was like, Gloria, remember, just stay centered and calm, and you'll get the answer. And I did stay centered and calm. And then immediately God told me where the key was. But only because I stay calm and centered. This is applicable to every single person, okay? And so that I was guided by my intuition to go back to the place where I threw the leaves. And sure enough, I went there where I had thrown the leaves, and the key was there with the leaves, okay? But because I was guided to remain calm, then I stay calm, and sure enough, I went back to the place, and the key was there. Simple things. Well, it was kind of a simple thing because there is always a solution for that. But if you are open and remain calm, no doubt about it that you can find a solution. Then number 5, take action. And again, when you receive the answer, take action and then say, God, I'm going to go ahead and move this way and do this. If you have a different plan, you must let me know. And don't worry about how God is going to let you know. He will let you know, either through a book or a friend or a phone call or something like that. And then this last one, use the power of meditation to sharpen your intuition. And I highly recommend the meditation class that Ananda offers. Is very, very, very good. It's a meditation, how you call it, a meditation course. And I'm almost sure there is one starting in this month. You can go to ananda.org. And right there, you should be able to find the information. For those of you who don't meditate, obviously here on the call, there are many people that do meditate daily. But if you don't, you can go ahead and take one of those courses. So that way you can learn the technique that is a wonderful technique that can help you to really keep your meditation practice. And again, practice feeling the presence of God all the time, and converse with God throughout the day. Ask questions, ask for his guidance. And the more you do it, the more it becomes a natural way of living. This idea of me talking to God just like that about the key or anything like that is because I have been practicing this for the longest time. I do practice a lot. So that way I keep talking to God, asking God for guidance about everything. And always I get an answer all the time. It's amazing. So the more you practice talking to God, feeling his presence, the more it becomes a natural way. And And most importantly, when you will realize that he is interested in every area of your life, even this tiniest one. He's interested in everything, every aspect of your life. So allow God to be your partner, and travel with him, and let him really guide your life and your affairs. And then all those decisions that you have to make on a daily basis, oh my goodness, you become so relaxed, because you know that you have a higher power that is guiding you to make the right decisions. So that's my invitation, dear friends. And now I'd like to remind any one of you who has not taken the 12 Steps to Mastery coaching program. I'm kind of laughing because many people that I know, that friends and family, have taken this program, because it's such an amazing program. And I really wanted to kind of share a little bit about it, in the sense that it's available. This program helps in every single area of your life, meaning in the areas of emotions, forgiveness, working with your inner child, obviously self-security, which helps you to making decisions, every single area of your life. I had been doing this coaching, or guiding people with this coaching program for about 23 years. And it's amazing, the miracles that I witness. It's so beautiful. I feel so fortunate to witness so many miracles, that I am not the one creating the miracles. It is God that creates the miracles and transforms the person, but I am just a witness. And that's such an amazing experience. So it is an in-depth program, is designed for anyone who wants to truly transform their lives. Now, if you prefer not to commit to 12, well, it's 16 weeks instead of 12. It's 12 steps, but a couple of the steps take a little more than one session. If you prefer to just do one session at a time, obviously, meaning not this program, but one session, obviously you can do that too. And all you have to do is just go to GloriaRamirez.com and check out the information about my coaching, or GloriaRamirez.com/12 Steps to Mastery to learn more about this amazing program. And also, you can send me an email at love@GloriaRamirez.com if you have any questions, or you can call me also, and we can definitely have a conversation over WhatsApp about what your needs are and how I can maybe support you. So again, it's an invitation in case you are having a challenge and feeling stuck or anything like that. This is a wonderful opportunity to kind of shift the energy around. And so that's any other details, you can go to my website. Remember that I have this class on a monthly basis. It's free, and it is the first Thursday of each month, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you are welcome to also check out the previous classes. They are under GloriaRamirez.com, and once you go there, it's under free. That is where you will see all the classes for this year, and every topic is different, obviously. So the next month, we are going to talk about how to have a victorious mentality. This is a very big one, because when you have a victorious mentality, I promise you, you have a victorious life, that they go hand in hand. So it's Thursday, September 7, and again, 5 p.m. or 8 p.m., depending on your time zone. And to register, all you have to do is go to GloriaRamirez.com, register, and right there, you will be able to register for the next class. And also, if you feel that you have been inspired by this class today, consider making a contribution, and all you have to do is just go to www.gloriaramirez.com/giving. That is, if you feel that you want to or are able to give a contribution. And then I thank you for your presence. I thank you for your desire to overcome maybe obstacles from your past and to kind of seek other possibilities. I am very, very grateful because the more of us are willing to really expand our consciousness, we are going to have a better world. So thank you so much. And now we are going to go ahead and enter a session of question and answers. In case of anyone has any questions of answer or any questions, I'm sorry, then you are welcome to ask. Otherwise, we'll see. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right now.